In today's video, we will be taking a look at another 2024 presidential election prediction, but this time if Trump is jailed during his presidential election bid. Now, just in case you have been living under a rock, Donald Trump has been indicted for a fourth time, this time in the state of Georgia, for allegedly trying to overturn the 2020 presidential election. Now, he was charged with, along with quote-unquote 18 co-conspirators in this case, and there is a slim chance that those cases will end up going to trial after the 2024 presidential election, but it's likely that at least one of them will end up going to trial before that, and there is a chance that he is convicted and sentenced to prison. Now, just a disclaimer here, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but this is just a prediction if it does. So right now, other safe states that are being filled in on both sides. As you can see, Trump at just 76 electoral votes to Joe Biden at 209, because we are likely going to see quite a lot of chaos and quite a lot of disillusion in the Republican Party camp. I don't think Trump will have that many safe electoral votes. However, I'm just going to give him his likely states. These are states that even if he is jailed, he'll probably still end up winning. So states like Missouri and Indiana, these may be states that would otherwise go to Trump by a safe margin, but in this case may go to him by a likely margin. Now those are the likely states for Donald Trump. Let's go to some of the likely states for Joe Biden. And I do believe that just based on these likely states, Biden will probably already win the presidency. First off, in the state of Maine, we're still going to see Joe Biden win the state. He won it by 9 points in 2020. In this hypothetical prediction, we could see him win by 13, 14 points because, again, the diversion in the Republican Party. We're also going to definitely see Joe Biden win the state of Minnesota, probably by around 12 to 13 points. Again, this vote splitting among some of the Republicans. And there's generally a consensus that people will probably not support someone who's running in prison. Eugene Debs is probably the one who got closest to winning a presidency in prison, but he only got 5% of the vote in his election bid. For the state of Michigan, I also think that Joe Biden will probably win the state of Michigan in this scenario. We're definitely going to see Biden win it by probably 6 or 7 points, because again, if Trump is indicted and he is arrested and sentenced to prison if he's convicted, I just don't see how he's going to end up winning states like Michigan, who are on otherwise already are leaning towards the Democratic Party. I also think that New Hampshire will probably go to the likely Democratic column. I think Pennsylvania as well, if you look at the state of Pennsylvania, again, many of these suburban areas definitely won't vote for someone who is arrested and jailed for any type of crime, regardless if you think Trump has committed a crime or not. People are not going to vote for someone if they're pretty much in jail. Those are the likely states for Joe Biden. I also have the state of Arizona in this case. I just don't think that Arizona, being a state that is heavily dependent on moderate voters in the areas such as Phoenix County and also Pima County, it's just very unlikely that they're going to vote for someone who is in prison running for the presidency in a prison cell. Now that already brings Joe Biden to 270 electoral votes. Now for Trump's lean states, I still think Alaska will vote for him, but the reason it's lean, it's because of the fact that I don't think they're going to give someone like Donald Trump, who may be running in prison in this scenario, the state by such a large margin. I also think the state of Florida is probably going to vote for Donald Trump even in this scenario. That is because, again, we're likely still going to see Trump end up winning the state of Florida just because how red trending the state has been. The state previously a very competitive state, now a state that's going to go for Republicans regardless really what happens. Similar story in Iowa and Ohio. Both of those states voted for Trump by 8 points, so I do believe that even if Trump ends up going to prison, he's probably going to, if he chooses to run in prison, still end up winning both of these states. However, now for Joe Biden's camp here, we have the lean states. Wisconsin definitely going to go for Joe Biden. Again, I don't think they're going to vote for someone who is in jail. And also because the state did vote for Biden in 2020, I don't see how in this scenario they do end up voting for someone like Donald Trump. I also think that for the state of Nevada, definitely a lean state for the Democratic Party. In this scenario, I do believe that Joe Biden will probably win the state of Nevada in this scenario, especially because if Trump ends up running in prison for the presidential election office. I just don't see how he could possibly win in a state like Nevada, which is very competitive. I also think that Nebraska's second obviously goes to Joe Biden. Also, in the state of Georgia, it will probably also go to Joe Biden because of the fact that although the charges, one of the indictments were filed in the state of Georgia, in the Atlanta region. Atlanta jury indicted Donald Trump for the quote unquote RICO conspiracy to essentially overturn the 2020 presidential election. This state, again, some people may not be super happy with the indictment, maybe more motivated to vote for someone like Donald Trump. But again, many moderate voters will not turn out for someone who is behind bars running for president. Now, I do believe that Donald Trump will still probably win Maine's second congressional district. The district is just too red for Democrats to win, even in this scenario. Also, in the state of Texas, this one will be pretty hard, but I do still believe that someone like Donald Trump, even if he is in prison, so many rural voters will still support him regardless. Some may be even more eager to turn out for him if he is in jail, because many Republicans, the vast majority of Republicans, view this indictment as heavily politicized, and really that may make them even more energized to vote for someone like Donald Trump. So I still believe Texas will go red. Now, as for the state of North Carolina, I do believe the state will go blue in this scenario. Again, I think many of these very competitive states, they're not going to vote for someone who is behind bars. Anyways, thank you for watching this video. Be sure to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.